Do not fear. You will not be harmed. We have borrowed your consciousness. Rest assured your physical form remains safe and asleep in your bed. We are the adrift, what you might call aliens. We come from a place at great physical distance from your world, far beyond your range of exploration. We have known about you and your kind, and have watched with great interest as you have evolved and changed over the millions of cycles. From the first motile cell in the Precambrian ocean to the first successful ignition of artificial fission, your species has grown and advanced at a rate far beyond what we had postulated. And had circumstances not shifted, we would have continued to watch until your inevitable extinction, the unfortunate fate of all physical species to have once existed. Had your species' fate been destined to run its course uninterrupted, we would have not intervened, but that is not the case. With great deliberation, it was decided to make first contact with several select individuals and assess them further. You are one of the first selected to contact so that we may gain a deeper understanding of your mind. Rest assured, you will not be harmed. We exist outside the physical world in a space your kind has discovered, but not yet quantified. While your bodies exist solely in the physical world, your consciousnesses are capable of so much more. The human mind can access this space under specific circumstances, most commonly sleep. The access is rudimentary and uncontrollable, but still definable. What you call dreams are a reflection of your own subconscious, filtered through the lens of our space. And so by reaching out to you, we may bridge the gap between our worlds and communicate. There is no shame in not understanding. It is equally difficult for us to compress our consciousness into a form your mind will comprehend. Still, we do so with the intention that we may understand you and your people better. Rest assured, we are unable to read your mind. On occasion, a dream will emerge that we may see, but without context, the images and feelings are unknown to us. That is why we are here, so that you may translate experiences as they are felt. Perhaps my explanation did not make sense. My apologies. If we begin, I believe that what we are trying to explain will make more sense to you. If you begin to feel uncomfortable or wish to end, we will do so immediately. This is a fabricated facsimile of a dream. It was created with the amalgamations of billions of data points from dreams we have observed in the past. This is what we have determined to be a common dream, a wooden structure in the woods. dangerously cold temperatures outside. You are warm and in a soft bed near open flames from burning hydrocarbons in the corner. This scene is associated with peace, comfort, relaxation, and satisfaction. Can you describe why? Thank you. Do the flames so near a structure primarily constructed out of wood not elicit fear? What about the proximity to possibly dangerous animal habitats? Does that not cause discomfort? I see. And what about the temperatures outside? Should the fire extinguish, the structure would quickly become uninhabitable. Fascinating. Thank you for your insight. Let us move on. This is another common dream of similar feelings. You are at a beach near the equator of your world. You are sitting on a padded chair in a reclined position underneath a large tree that is blocking direct sunlight. Even so, the temperature is very high. Beside you is a cold beverage composed of fruit juices mixed with ethanol. Can you explain why this setting is so highly desirable? Is the proximity to such a large body of water not fear-inducing? Large bodies of water have been associated with negative dreams quite frequently. I see. Is the risk of dermal damage from the high radiation emanating from the nearby star not a factor that reduces enjoyment? Fascinating. Ethanol is a potent poison. Even consumed in small quantities, it can cause damage to organs and negatively affect humans' ability to reason. What makes this risk acceptable? Your responses were unexpected, but welcome. Thank you. We will now move on. This is a contentious setting. You are an adolescent of approximately 12 years of age. You are attending school with other adolescents of the same age. You are sitting at a desk during a lesson. Despite being one of the most popular dreams, this setting has hugely divergent emotions associated with it. Can you explain? How interesting. Surely the prospects of learning elicit positive emotions. After all, what more is there for an adolescent to do? I see. We have observed being surrounded by similarly aged individuals can be both joyous and detrimental. Can you elaborate? How fascinating. One common thread is the concept of the test. It is often responsible for negative emotions, even so far as to collapse a positive dream into a negative one. Have you experienced this? Thank you for sharing. I wish to thank you for your insight. If you are willing, we will try another. This setting is another with highly varied emotions. You are a passenger aboard a common flying vessel known to you as an aircraft. You are surrounded by other passengers and will not arrive at your destination for several hours. How does this setting make you feel? I see. Despite being among one of the safest forms of travel known to you, why do you think this particular dream causes such strong feelings of fear? Thank you for sharing. Excitement is another common feeling associated with this setting. We have observed strong positive feelings associated with travel to be common. What is it about leaving one's residence for an extended period of time that elicits such positive emotions? Thank you. The activity known as a vacation and the activity known as a business trip share a striking similarity in action, but a wholly dissimilar emotion in practice. Can you elaborate on the difference? Thank you. What we have learned from you has greatly improved our understanding of your people. If you are willing to continue, we have only a couple more settings for you to describe. However, these are typically associated with negative emotions. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated, and please remember, we will not cause you any harm. and should you wish it, we will end testing immediately. You are in a biologically dense area near the equator, colloquially known as a rainforest. A tropical storm has separated you from your colleagues, and you have spent the last 42 hours alone. While less frequent in the era you are accustomed to, this bad dream was extremely common 50 to 70 years ago. What about this setting is unpleasant? Fascinating. Being alone for some is pleasant, for others stressful. Can you elaborate? I see. Rain is an unusual concept. It can cause feelings of calm, but also discomfort. Is being in the rain different from being sheltered from the rain? The enjoyment of the sound caused by thunder is a uniquely human trait. Of all creatures capable of dreaming we have observed, the enjoyment of thunder is unique to a portion of the human population. Can you explain why or why not you enjoy the sound? I see. Fascinating. Thank you. We apologize if this last setting has caused you distress. I have one more, if you are willing. By far the most common negative dream we have observed is that of falling. Rest assured, you will not impact the ground. How do you feel? Curious. A small selection of the population associates this feeling with excitement. Putting oneself in dangerous situations is a common pastime and a frequent dream. Why is the risk of bodily harm or death enjoyable for some? How unusual. Allow us to slightly modify this setting. If we decrease downward momentum and allow you to control your own movement, we arrive at a very similar dream, but with a significantly different emotion. The dream of being able to fly unassisted is almost universally positive. What makes flying different from falling? I see. A lack of control is a common thread among negative dreams. Humans believe they have little to no control over their existences, when in reality they have a great deal of power over the events and aspects of their lives. Why do some feel as though they have no control? Thank you. You honor us with your time and explanations. We have been deliberating the information we have received from yourself as well as all participants, and now have a far better understanding of human emotions. For a species with a finite existence, it is perfectly understandable that self-preservation is of utmost importance. However, your unyielding demand for knowledge and experience is so strong, it can override even these most basic of survival instincts. You exist to experience, and your collective knowledge and understanding is worthy of praise. Your species is unique and important, and through time you will contribute positively to the continued evolution of not just your own world, but the galaxy itself. It is by this assessment we have decided to help you. An unseen force has artificially altered the timeline of humanity. By coincidence, instinct, or malicious intelligence, we do not know, but we have seen the effects. This force exists both outside our realm of control and outside the physical world where you reside, and yet it has a profound influence over your kind. In the last few years, we have witnessed the trajectory of human existence take a steep shift. The end result? Annihilation. Negativity, regret, anger, and fear have increased among the populace by an alarming factor. Whether or not this was the intended purpose is beyond our scope, but the outcome remains the same. You need not worry about your life. Even with the most aggressive timelines, your species will not end for another 80,000 years. However, that is far from our initial prediction of 22 to 46 million years. In order to correct the effects of this unseen force, we will need to make contact with a sizable percentage of your population. But to avoid widespread panic, we will forego direct contact, instead focusing on what we have observed from you and others like you. If we can subtly shift the collective consciousness through positive dreams, we may be able to begin to correct this self-destructive course. As for you, I'm afraid a single consciousness cannot do much on its own. But if you can maintain a positive outlook while awake, your emotions will transfer to others, and over time effect a positive change around you. I'm afraid this may not dramatically affect all of humanity, but every change in a positive direction will affect the course of humanity, even if only slightly. Should we require it, may we contact you in the future. Thank you. Now please return to sleep. You will have little memory of this interaction when you awake, but remember, you may not have a great deal of control over humanity, but you do have more than enough power to affect your own life and the lives of those close to you. As is said, sleep well.